On May 23, 1991, in a small village in China called Huan, the locals were celebrating their annual festival. Among them was a woman named Wei Shouman. That morning, she got dressed, ate her breakfast, and took her 4-year-old son with her on a bicycle to the town center to enjoy the festivities. Before leaving, she told her daughter to stay home and keep an eye on the house. As night fell and Wei hadn't returned, her husband Cao Qingchun became worried. He asked his daughter where her mother and brother were. She said they left in the morning and hadn't come back. Concerned, Cao borrowed a bike, called his brother, and together they began searching the village and festival grounds late into the night. Unable to find them, they decided to search the nearby countryside with handheld flashlights. They split up to cover more ground. Cao headed toward a small lake, while his brother checked an old well house nearby. There, shining his light into the deep well, Cao's brother found something horrifying. At the bottom were the lifeless bodies of Wei and her son. Police were called immediately. Upon retrieval, it was clear both had suffered fatal injuries. The child was still dressed, but Wei was not, and her clothes were found discarded in the well. The police discovered signs of a struggle, drag marks in a nearby wheat field, strands of hair, and a shoe that matched Wei's. All signs pointed to her being dragged across the field to the well. Witnesses in the area reported seeing a suspicious bald man around that time and location. Investigators believed the crime had been committed in a very short time. The suspect even dumped her bicycle into a nearby lake to cover his tracks. When police searched the lake, they found 28 bikes, but Wei's husband immediately identified hers. Suspicion turned to a nearby prison labor camp. On the day of the festival, 16 inmates had been allowed to work in the village as part of a community program. All were accounted for except one, Yang Zhenlin, a man with a history of trouble. He had returned late that day and had no clear explanation. Evidence mounted against him. Footprints matched his size and walking pattern. His clothes had faint blood traces, and crucially, the blood matched the rare type that belonged to Wei. Though forensic testing was limited at the time, it was enough to confirm suspicion. After questioning, Yang finally confessed. He had lured Wei and her son away, taken them to the well house, and committed terrible acts before ending their lives, all for a brief, selfish impulse. In 1994, Yang was executed. The crime shook the village to its core. Wei was remembered as a kind and beloved woman whose life, and her child's, was cut short in the most heartless way. The storyteller closes with a reminder: always let someone know where you're going, never walk alone when you don't have to, and always be aware of your surroundings. Evil doesn't always give warnings.